Do you know which country enjoys skiing for Christmas? Stay tuned to hear about that and some others in this awesome multicultural challenge. Frohe Weihnachten. That's how you say Happy Christmas in German. There are a lot of different things that are associated with Christmas in Germany. Advent calendars, St. Nicholas Day, Krampus night. And today I'm going to focus on two, the Advent wreath and a nutcracker. I have many nutcrackers I've collected over the years, and I'm going to take this one and I'm going to do that ever popular, I think it's Kirkland's dupe. They're the ones that do the matte black nutcracker. And y'all, I have like 60 nutcrackers. It's by no means a huge collection, but it's a pretty big collection. And I think this one was a Dollar General guy, so I didn't feel too bad about taking him apart to repurpose into a fun dupe of that Kirkland's one. So just tearing off all of the hair. This guy's about, I don't know, 8 years old, 6 years old, something like that. So it's taken a while. And once I got all that hair off, I'm just going to use this cheap spray paint that I got, and I'm going to take him out and get every little nook and cranny. All the color is covered. He is ready to go, done, finished, and super cute. Next, for Germany, I'm making an Advent wreath. The Advent wreath has 4 candles, and each candle is lit each Sunday in December or right before Christmas. I can't remember which now. But I don't have a platform to hold the candles, so the wreath is just going to basically go around them. So what I'm going to do is take some Dollar Tree pine garland, the wired garland, and those 4 pillars, which also came from the Dollar Tree. They're battery operated LED candles. And I have a berry pick, I couldn't think of the word, that I'm also going to just kind of shove in there. So I'm just going to wrap a bunch of this wire garland around the hoop. Super easy. I don't hot glue anything, and I think there's 2 of those there. And I'm just going to cut apart some of these berries from this pick, and I'm just going to shove them in there. And I'm not going to glue them. I'm just going to stick them down in there. You know, again, this is going to be, it's seasonal. I will probably make a better one later, but for the purposes of the video, I wanted to throw it together. But it turns out cute anyway, and it was so easy and really very cheap, actually. It was like $5. And these candles are actually pretty nice. I was really kind of surprised. I have some other pillars, and what I liked about these, they take those little button batteries, but it has like a waxy texture on the outside. So that's, you know, it gives it some authenticity. So I'm just going to, you know, sit them in there, kind of like the picture. And that's what it looks like. And there they are lit. Super pretty. Buon Natale. That's Merry Christmas in Italian. And you'd find that there's a lot of stuff going on in Italy on Christmas. On Christmas Eve, they might be going to Mass at the Vatican. Or they could be listening to bagpipers in the piazza. And possibly scarfing down a bunch of sweet, tasty treats. But I think what is really fun is that sometimes they go skiing. Hello. That's what I'm going to focus on in my next craft for Italy. So I'm going to use some cardboard in my Cricut to cut out some shapes and use one of those wire garlands from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to make some skis. Now, my Dollar Tree did not have any of those cute little ski and ornaments. Spoiler to the next one. So I'm just gonna make my own. So I've cut out pieces from, you know, like a cracker box or something with my Cricut, and I'm going to glue them together with Mod Podge. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you've seen that I use this in, you know, in place of like chipboard or wood or whatever. It's super sturdy the way I do it. It works out pretty good. So I'm going to make 2 skis, and I'm going to use a couple of wood skewers and just a couple little pieces of cardboard to make the poles. So I'm just using the Mod Podge and layering all of the pieces together with Mod Podge, and I can go ahead and curve the ends of the skis. And you know, I really love making specialized shapes with my Cricut out of the thin cardboard like this, because you know, while I have a scroll saw, I'm not any good at it. I won't even lie. And this way I can create anything I want with the cardboard, and layering it with a Mod Podge like that, it is super sturdy after it's all cured and dried and whatever. So I really like doing it that way. So here I am just taking my skewers, trying to figure out how long I want them, because I've never had the opportunity to go snow skiing, and now I live in Texas. So yeah, I have no idea. I've gone water skiing, but I've never done this. So I don't know how long the poles are supposed to be, but I just made them the way I thought they looked cute. So I've got those done. Now all I'll do is paint everything. Well, I'm going to slide the little round ends on there, poke holes and slide those on, and then give everything a good paint job. So I've got everything painted and made them red because I thought that'd be cute, and I stained the little sticks and painted the little circles. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to use this just like it is. I'm not going to wrap it on anything. It's wired. I don't really have to, you know, add a wreath form or anything, because it's already got a, you know, nice sturdy wire inside. So I'm just going to wrap it around a few times just to, you know, shape it. And now I'm going to use this gorgeous plaid ribbon that I got at Dollar Tree, because it kind of reminded me of the Italian flag a little bit in a way with the red and the green. So I'm just going to make a little bitty bow, nothing too big because it's not a very big wreath. So I'm going to go ahead and snip that, and this is wired ribbon, so I can just squish it together and make it a really pretty easy bow with it. And now to secure the center, I just took a piece of red satin ribbon to just tie it together, and I can tie it on the wreath. No need to hot glue onto this. I mean, why? I can hot glue the skis on the bow. I can untie the bow. I can use the pine stuff later. So, you know, and maybe use the bow just as an ornament or something. So to go ahead and tie that down, and then go on and assemble my skis. Now I can go ahead and get the skis done, so I'll pretty much just assemble that part first and then glue it to the bow. So I'm just trying to figure out my layout, and I am looking at a picture on, I think, Pinterest. That was the inspiration for these. So I'm using this cute new glue gun that got sent to me. It's a little miniature glue gun. It's USB chargeable. Just an easy on-off button, little, you know, mini glue sticks that comes with the long mini glue sticks and some glitter glue sticks. I'll link that in my description box below. It is such a nice little glue gun. The same person reached out to me before for another glue gun, and I'm not disappointed in this one either. I love it. So yeah, I'm just gonna hot glue these together. Nothing fancy schmancy. It was a little difficult because I have the 4 pieces, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, and I have noticed this for myself, but when I use the antique wax on anything and I try to hot glue it later, it just doesn't want to stick. Is it just me? I mean, do I have to wait like a day or two or more for it to completely set before I can hot glue? I don't know. Anyway, which I don't know if we show it here, if I'll show it here or not, but it does shift around a bit, so I will end up fixing it. So I've got it glued as best as it'll get, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and take a piece of twine just to secure all those parts together and make sure that those ski poles won't go anywhere. And I don't know why I was having such a difficulty. Sometimes my brain and my hands don't coordinate. Usually I have great hand-eye coordination, but sometimes my brain is like, nope, not today. So I was probably in the middle of a huge fibro flare-up or something. I can't even remember. It's been a few days. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie these together with this jute twine, and then I will decorate it some more. I've just got some stuff I want to add to it since I have it all tied down. I'm just going to take some of these little green sprigs of whatever it is, I don't know, off of one of my Dollar Tree picks. Just going to cut a couple little pieces off of here. Since it's kind of a small embellishment, I don't want to take up too much room with this stuff. And just very simple little pieces, just a little bit of greenery to splash on there. And I'll just hot glue those down. And I'm going to use this little mini pick from the Dollar General. And the only thing I'm going to use from it is one of the tiny little pine cones. I'll go ahead and glue that down. I need to trim it up a little bit. I had someone mention me using these Fiskars scissors, which, yes, they are meant to be for fabric, but I have some rockin' seamstress shears. If you guys have seen some of my other videos, they are big and they are amazing. So these Fiskars are perfect for me to use when I'm crafting. If I can find these on Amazon, I'll link them. I love these scissors. I've had these scissors for 13 years, something like that. And I've cut through all kinds of stuff. I mean, they still cut fabric fine too. So they're great. They're great scissors. The Fiskars brand is really, really good. So I'm just tying another piece of jute twine around those little greens, and it's to give me something to not only secure those on there, because again, I don't know why, just nothing wants to stick to those ski poles, but also to give me something else to glue the little mini pine cone to. So I'm just doing that, and then I'll glue the pine cone on to the center there. Just trying to keep it all together. The other one died. That little one died on me. So I had been using it for a while, and I'm terrible with my glue guns. I forget that they're on. Does anybody else do that? Yeah, I forgot it was on and it died. So I had to break out the big guy there. Still works like a champ, and I use it all the time. So there's that. It's so cute. Again, I couldn't find any of those little ski ornaments, so I figured it was best just to make one. And I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue it onto the bow. I'm really liking the result here. I think it fits in pretty well. And, you know, that I'll save that bow for something else. I will definitely use that later. And I didn't hold it down long enough, but it's really pretty cute. Maybe I'll put it on a better wreath, you know, but yeah, that is what I had. So it worked. This video is part of the Multicultural Holiday DIY Challenge, and it is hosted by Danielita AF and Crafting in Mimi's World. I will make sure their links and the link to the playlist are in my description box. This challenge was for us to create some DIYs for holidays that are part of our heritage. And I have some German, and I have some Italian, and I have some Scottish. Basically, that whole island there, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, England, all of that, and some other Eastern European as well. So that's what those are. And yeah, this has been pretty fun. So why don't you go ahead and check out my last one. Nollaig Chridheil. That's Merry Christmas in Scottish Gaelic. And through extensive research into my ancestry, I found a lot of Scot heritage, all the way back to like the beginning of Scotland. And it's super interesting. I spent a lot of time on ancestry.com and Wikipedia, all kinds of cool stuff. And the ancient Celtic traditions for Christmas were a little harder for me to figure out how I could put them together. But I did come up with one thing, which, you know, is still celebrated today, really. And that is Yule. And I'm going to make a Yule log out of literal trash and some thrifted items. So I'm using a Pringles can, some craft sticks, and craft paper. And I'm going to make a log out of this. So I've got my Pringles. I don't even know why I took the end off. I've got my Pringles can. And obviously I don't want it to roll around. So I'm going to take the craft sticks and I'm going to glue them all the way down the length so that it sits flat. So I'm just taking a rough estimate, I guess, of the measurement I need. I don't know, whatever. Which I think I end up just actually cutting them in half. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them down, and then we'll run all the way down the length of it. So I've got them all done, and now I'm going to cut holes in the top for these battery operated tea lights I have. And I'll show, do I have a picture? I don't remember if I have a picture. But the pictures that I did see of Yule logs were, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, all decorated, and they had holes where they had held tea lights or tapers or pillars, I guess, depending on how the log is. So I'm just going around and I'm going to cut the holes for all three. And I didn't actually space them out proper, but they're close enough, so it's fine. And I just used an X-Acto knife to cut those holes out. And that's how that looks. They fit in there just right. Now I'm going to cover the whole thing with this craft paper, and I've crinkled it up and smushed it up and wrinkled it as much as I could, because I want it to be the bark of my log. So I actually end up using about half of this piece. I have rolls of this stuff, so I'm not missing any. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just, you know, wrinkle it and everything else. And using that Jot white school glue from Dollar Tree, I'm going to do like, you know, a decoupage Mod Podgy type thing where I'm just gonna like use a crap ton of glue and glue all of this together, squish it up nice, and so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to make sure I get it measured out exactly where I want everything. And I am going to cover the whole thing. And, you know, I'm going for a log. I'm going for the look of actual wood here. So I will continue on shaping this paper and going from there. As you can see, lots of glue, lots and lots and lots of glue. I do flatten out the bottom as best I can. Don't want it rocking around on its base or anything like that. So I want that to be flat, you know, kind of like you would saw that piece off of the, you know, off of the log. So lots more glue. I am literally just covering the entire Pringles can with it, you know, squishing it up, making it wrinkly, and I'll trim off the ends because I'm going to get ambitious and paint these like logs. So there it is after it's been dried, and my little lights fit right back in there exactly how I wanted it. And I am going to give this a good base coat of paint first, and I'm just going to use this white cheap dollar store spray paint to get all over it just as a base. And you can see now it looks kind of gray. I actually did end up using some clear enamel too on that. So I was showing, I have the white chalk paint from Folk Art. I think it was Cottage White. I don't remember. And this is the Delta Ceram Coat Bambi Brown, I believe. I know I showed the camera. Ah, yeah, Bambi Brown. Yep, Cottage White. I was right. So I'm mixing these two colors together for the cut ends of my log. Don't ask me what kind of wood it is. I don't know. I know a pretty tree when I see it. I'm not an arborist. I wish I was. I like trees. Trees are nice. But I thought I would try to do the cut ends of the tree. So I'm going to paint them lighter because, you know, the inside is usually white-ish or, you know, light tan. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint both ends with this paint. And I don't know if you can't really tell, I didn't mix it too much. I kind of wanted to give it like kind of a marbled effect, I guess, just to, you know, create some depth in the color. And I think I end up adding more white. So I'm just messing about with the paint at this point. And here you can see I've lightened it up, just kind of shoving it all over the place. You know, the other layer is not quite dry, so it's mixing dark and light, creating a little, you know, texture, I guess. So I'm just going to take the rest of this and paint it on, getting in there. I'm going for all of these different colors, you know, because I sprayed that craft paper white and it turned out kind of gray, and I was like, ooh. So that's nice. And, you know, I'm not going to get every bit of this craft paper. At this point, you can't bend that paper at all, really. It's not going anywhere. I've got all that glue on it, clear acrylic spray, now a layer of, you know, there's a layer of spray paint on there, there's, you know, layers of other paint. So I'm just kind of going in, painting it haphazardly, not really, you know, giving it too much, just not really doing anything specific, just putting it on there. And now this is the fun part. So I'm using dry brush technique with one of my chippy brushes from Plaid. And okay, so I don't know why I started out with this. I'm dry brushing. I'm going to dry brush over the whole log to get the, you know, bark color or whatever. So I'm just going to go in and layer on in random places just to give it more. I am terrible at explaining things. I really am. So just hitting those edges of the bark, which I don't know if that's right or not, but it looked okay to me. So I'm going to continue on with that. And this is what that looks like. So here I'm going to work on these ends now. With the same dry brushing, I'm just spinning it around. Okay. So if you see, I'm attempting to make rings, which actually works out much better on this side. I'm attempting to make rings in the wood. Because that chippy brush is my chippy brush, I've abused it. If you can't tell, it's already worse for wear. I use it all the time. But it's got those, long strings that just kind of hang out. So I thought to myself, you should use that brush to make those rings and just kind of spin it about and make a circle with it. And I was not too disappointed. Well, at least with one end. One end looks good. So I can just, brush over some excess on the rest of it. And honestly, I can pretty much call that a day. So I've got all of my floral things that I'm going to use, which I don't actually use the mistletoe. But this is part of a huge thrift haul of floral craft supply things that I picked up a while back. So I'm going to basically take it apart. I'm going to use the berries and some of the leaf. What are they called when they're together like that? Bundles. I can't brain today. And I'm going to cut pieces of this wired garland. I've used that. Wow, I've used that in every project except the nutcracker. So I'm just going to cut off some pieces of that to make it look like, just little branches or twigs or whatever. Cut a bunch of those up too. And these leaves aren't all like in the best shape, so I'm only picking the best bunches. Bunch. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I'm only taking the best ones of 3. And I'm going to pair them with the berries, which I think I end up taking more off of another pick that I have. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm sorting them out, the best ones to keep. And with my lights in, I can go ahead and start assembling this. So I'm going to just start gluing stuff down, and I'm kind of getting an idea of how I want it to look. So they're going to go all around like that. Using my fully charged now glue gun, because like I had said, it had died on me, so I plugged it in to use it again because it's small and it gets into the little bits a little bit easier than that big guy. So I just hot glue the little pine thing there. I don't need to explain this, you can see what's going on. Anyway, I'm just gluing this stuff down. And I'll go all the way around the top there and kind of crisscross. And I'll, bend them up a little bit, kind of get them, to where I want them laying. And I don't use a whole lot. It's pretty secure, so I don't really need to. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue gluing. So now I'm going to put on my last little leaf bunches here with the berries, just hot gluing them in place. Nothing too hard, but it worked out really well, I think. I like it. That's what it looks like all completed, and that looks pretty itself, just like that. I was surprised. It actually looks like a piece of wood and it weighs about 2 ounces. And I turned my little candles on. They are little twinkly tea light candles. And you can see with the lights out, I think it's really pretty. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Does it look like real wood? It Representing Germany, we have the nutcracker. I really like this one. It was easy. And for Italy, let's go skiing. That sounds like fun. And for my motherland, Scotland, I absolutely love this Yule log. I think I nailed it, but you let me know in the comments below if I did. Make sure you check out our hosts and the playlist. All those links are in my description box below. And don't forget to spread the YouTubey goodness. Like, comment, and subscribe on all of the other people in the playlist. And while you're subscribing to everybody else in the playlist, would you consider subscribing to my channel as well? I am 24 days away from my goal of a 1K, and I am 155 away as of the time of me recording this. So as a Christmas present, it's free, and you would help me get that much closer to my goal. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, y'all. Bye.